powerfully available and to cash in this year, this Black Friday, this holiday season. Because here's the truth. Okay. Number one, it's the beginning of November already. And our November sales need to be starting already. We should already be having we should really actually not only just be having the plan, we should be enacting and operating our plan already. Should have started the middle or the first part of last month. Right now is when you absolutely have to get that visibility, because your visibility is going to determine the outcome of any promotion that you have planned. So you may have the best promotion. You may have come up with just the most killer, cool, awesome, amazing kind of a Black Friday special that you've ever ran. But if you're not already visible, if people don't know you exist, then nobody sees you and nobody's going to know about your thing. You can put together the greatest program, the greatest possible offer in the entirety of the world. And if nobody knows it exists, nobody's going to buy it. Okay. It's kind of like, and we've talked about before, when it comes to clarity and, doing our lives and nobody being on. You look over in the left-hand corner and it says nobody's on, and you don't get any comments and all those kind of things. And when we're doing the long lives to create a lot of content that we can then create the shorts, if you were taking a 15 to 30 second or 10 to 30 second whatever short video and you're getting no views on it, then we know we've really got some issues. Okay. If you're doing long forms, if you're doing 10 to 15 minute lives like what I'm doing right now and nobody's watching them live, then we need to start looking at, are they being seen later? And if they aren't being seen at all later, 10 or 15 minutes is a huge commitment for people these days. I know 10 or 15 minutes sounds like nothing, but it really is. But you need the strategy in place to be able to have those short videos, your posts, your book to be seen and to be known. And I'm going to tell you, when it comes to all of the things you're going to do in your marketing, the foundation, the first piece, the thing you lay down, the graduating from medical school, all of the analogies I've used for it, that first step is having a book that is a bestseller. That's day one. Okay, we launch the book, we make the book a bestseller. Absolutely. Okay, cool, no problem. All right. Then secondarily, then we need to have something that we do with that. We need to have that continued visibility. And that's where we really need to think through and have a plan for, how am I going to stay visible? Amazon is $1 trillion company. Amazon spends billions in advertising to promote books that are at the top of their lists. They have a massive multi-million, probably multi-billion email list. And they send out emails. You've probably gotten them. Here's some other books that you might like. Now, you can go to BookBub. You can create your own landing page. You can talk about Barnes and Nobles or being in the Ingram list, and any of those kind of things. But it's going to start from, 95% of all people buy their books off of Amazon, and B, it's going to start from being seen, from being truly available. Because I can tell you, people are already buying Christmas gifts. They're already searching. They're at the very least looking for, what do I want? And so let's use 3 different examples. Okay. The example of, you wrote a really great children's book. All right. Kids are looking through and they want to see, and your book needs to be in the places where the kids can know about it. And there's some strategies that we can employ that can actually get the books into, schools and things like that as well. We've got all of those kind of things in place because it's about being where they are. Okay. And when the kids are making their Christmas list, you want them to say, I want this book. You want that on that list. Okay. You may be talking about, as a second category, somebody that is a business professional. Okay. They want somebody to grow their business. And so when you come to them and you say, hey, what do you want for Christmas? They're usually going to think about, hey, what is this thing that I could get that I could really legitimately ask for Christmas? Okay, you probably, now there are some people, that have people that they could say, hey, yeah, I want you to buy me this 5, 10, 15, 20, $100,000 program as my Christmas present. Okay, but for the most part, usually, especially when you're talking that demographic, especially if you're talking, working moms, they're thinking of things that they can tell their kids, oh, yeah, you could get this for me, right? You know how your mom is, right? Um, and a book is perfect in that. You can say, hey, this book is 99 cents in ebook form. This book is $10, $15, $20, whatever, in print form. And it's absolutely powerfully possible. And that's something that they can totally put on their list. And even the kids can get for them. If, when they're going through and saying, hey, I really need help with my brand visibility. I think of that one because I was just in a long discussion with a person about their brand visibility and helping them with that. And when we think about your brand visibility, okay, and if when they say, how do I increase my brand visibility? That might be a search somebody, or they might just search brand visibility on Amazon. And I've never done that particular search on Amazon. Even though I've done some books I probably have actually done that search now I think about it when I think about a couple of the brand visibility books I've done. So maybe I have. Does your book come up? Are the right keywords, categories, descriptions for that, if that's what the person's looking for? Are you more talking to them about what are the right colors to make my clients want to work with me? That would be a totally different kind of, still in the generic category of brand visibility. All of those kind of things, whatever that search is. So we need to know who our person is. Okay. It goes back to, again, our 3 C's: clarity, consistency, and connection. So connection is about knowing the person. And then we can connect to them. We connect with people. All right. We build that know, like, and trust. And so being there. All right. And we can have at the end of our book that bigger thing, that program, that, the different levels of, hey, here's small, medium, and large, depending on where you are and what your income is, what your budget is. I can fit in there for you. But we need to build their know, like, and trust first. And we need to get in their space. So when they do that search, is your book coming up? And if it isn't, maybe we need to do something about that. People are searching right now. We all know that the weekend after, Black Friday through Cyber Monday are the biggest shopping days of the year. There are whole entire companies that run their whole company off of the money they'll make in that 4-day weekend, right? And you want to be able to capitalize on that. And that comes from you being visible. We can make sure that your book is SEO'd properly, first of all, so that when they do the search, your book has the possibility even to come up for that. And then secondarily, we want to make sure that your book has reviews that people are saying, hey, this is an amazing book. In fact, I got to show you this review. If I can find it really quick. I love showing you guys these screenshot things that I've been doing here lately. Let me see if I can bring this one up for you real quick. I won't take a lot of time, but if I can find it really quick. Is this it? I think so. Yeah. So let me share my screen so you can see what I'm looking at here. And this is the kind of things that legitimate verified reviews that you can get. So share the screen, select a window, stand on your head and squawk like a chicken. Screen 1. Okay. So look at this great review. It isn't just a book, it's a wake up call. I felt every emotion as Lataxion fought to protect his daughter and navigate in an unfair system. What a great thing, you know. And I mean, these are just the first two reviews that have come in on his book, but we're helping him get reviews now on his book. Here's another person that we're working with for their reviews, and I'll let you see one of these views here. You know, and you can see again. Let me go down to the newest ones that have just happened so that you can see. Um, I don't generally leave reviews, but this book really warrants it, especially if you're burnt out on the usual self help stuff. What a great review, you know, and it's a verified purchaser and they bought the book in hardcover. See, those are the kind of things you want. You need those so that when somebody then does a search, finds your book, they can go down because that's what we do, right? We look at the reviews and we're like, what do other people say about that? They find, and then they're like, oh, wow, you know, that's a really great thing, you know, that the people said about that book. Um, I was going to bring up one other. It's my book, so it's a absolute total shameless plug for you know, for my own book. If I can find the right page here, I'll do that. I won't take too much time if I don't, but yes. Um, and I love this book so much. Romeo the Suicidal Parakeet, book 2, where Romeo is talking about his new job that he's got working HR. Yeah, you can see Romeo the Suicidal Parakeet on calling in sick to work. Okay, and he's going to give you some great advice on that. But if you want to see some really great reviews, and you can see, you know, I mean, you're going to get some bad reviews. Okay, I hate to tell you that, but it just really is, you know, the kind of thing. But I loved this review. The person said, Romeo is the inner voice I never knew I needed. His over the top phone calls to avoid work perfectly mirror how I feel every Monday morning. Steve Kidd manages to make satire feel warm, witty, and so spot on. I loved how the jokes sit right alongside moments that make you pause and think about burnout. It's clever, sharp, and comforting all at once. I'm now convinced every office should have a therapy parakeet. And again, see, this is somebody who got the ebook, verified purchaser of it, and you know, and that kind of thing. And yeah, you know, I got a verified purchaser that gave it 4 stars as opposed to 5. You know, they said they bought it as a joke, but they ended up reading the whole thing in one sitting. The humor is sharp, witty, and just the right amount of unhinged. You know, I mean, so even though it's a 4-star review, and I know that the 1-star review probably says something, you know, just awful about me. Well, no, okay, it's not even showing it. So it says I have one 1-star review, but it's not showing it. So, you know, the person gives it a 1-star review and doesn't say anything. Hey, it happens, but we move on. Okay. But you want people to be able to see that kind of stuff and have people saying, oh yeah, you got to get this book. This is really fun. It's witty. It's funny. It's whatever. All right. You know, and we talked about, so with the kids book, you know, you want your kids saying, hey, I want to get this book. With your you know, with your business book, you want business people saying, you know, hey, you know, give me this book for my business. That would be totally cool. Okay. And you want for people who you have a product or a service, you want them, you know, like say, for example, you have a really great way to help people lose weight. You want to have that book so that the person who's like, well, you know, I really want to, you know, lose weight this holiday season and not overindulge. You know, they may be actually buying that book before Thanksgiving. But again, now is the time to get it done. Now is when you absolutely must get yourself ready for the biggest buying week of the year. And you need to do it. And we've got all the things in place. Because the best holiday strategy isn't your amazing sale. want you to have it, but that's not going to be your best strategy. It's your visibility. It's being seen. Let us help you get that. DM Amplify. If you can do that before the 15th, we can lock you in so that you can actually get that visibility pre Black Friday. And I'm not saying that there aren't things that we can do right even the day of Black Friday. Okay, we've got stuff for that. But absolutely, now is when you want to do that. DM or comment the word amplified. Let's get you going right now. You absolutely need this. We want to help you. What you're doing matters. The world needs you. Okay? Thanks so much for doing what you do. Tomorrow we're going to look at the guarantee that nobody else offers. And that's true because we're going to talk about our guarantee and about how well it can work for you. No need to hope, but actually that we'll guarantee it for you. I'm so grateful to have you here with us. I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And until we're together again next time, which is tomorrow, I hope you have a great week.